I used to stand in front of the mirror and lie to myself. Not because I wanted to lie, because I was trying so hard to believe something better. I would look at my own tired face and say, I am safe. I am calm. Everything is working out for me. I trust what is happening. And for about 3 seconds, I would almost believe it. Then my chest would tighten. My stomach would drop. My throat would close, like my body was saying, don't say that too loud. Something bad might hear you. And I remember thinking, what is wrong with me? Because I wasn't trying to be negative. I was trying to heal. But positive thinking felt like putting a warm blanket over a smoke alarm. The words were soft, but something inside me was still screaming. And that's the part nobody really explained to me. Why can your mind want peace, but your body still prepare for danger? Why can you believe in a better future, but still wake up with your shoulders tight, your jaw clenched, and your thoughts already searching for what could go wrong? Why can you say, I am provided for, but your body still feels like one unexpected bill could collapse the whole room? That question stayed with me, because I didn't just want to think better. I wanted to feel safe enough to believe what I was thinking. And that is a very different thing. There was one morning I remember clearly. The house was quiet. Not peaceful quiet. That strange kind of quiet where nothing is happening, but your body still feels like something is about to happen. The light was coming through the window in this soft gray way. I could smell coffee, but I hadn't really touched it. My hands were wrapped around the mug, but it had already gone lukewarm. I was sitting at the table trying to tell myself, it's okay. You're okay. You're safe. But my body did not agree. My body was busy. It was reviewing everything. The bills, the tone of a conversation from the day before, the things I still had to fix, the places where I felt behind, the future I was trying to believe in but couldn't fully feel yet. And then the thought came up so fast I almost missed it. What if I relax and something falls apart? That was the sentence. Not, I don't want peace. Not, I don't believe in healing. Not, I want to stay stuck. Just, what if I relax and something falls apart? And suddenly, positive thinking made more sense to me. Because my body wasn't rejecting peace because peace was bad. My body was rejecting peace because peace felt unfamiliar. And unfamiliar can feel dangerous when your nervous system has been trained by survival. This is why affirmations may not work at first, not because the affirmation is wrong, but because your body may not have enough evidence yet. You can say, I am safe, but if your body remembers seasons where you had to stay alert just to make it through the day, safety may not feel true yet. You can say, I am loved, but if love has ever felt inconsistent, conditional, or unpredictable, your body may hesitate before receiving that. You can say, I am successful, but if being seen has ever made you feel judged, criticized, or exposed, success may not feel exciting at first. It may feel threatening. And that is where so many of us start blaming ourselves. We think, why can't I just believe better? But the deeper question is, does my body feel safe enough to believe this yet? There was something real happening underneath this. Dopamine is often called the pleasure chemical, but that is too simple. Dopamine is involved in reward, motivation, learning, attention, memory, movement, and reinforcement. And scientists also connect dopamine to something called reward prediction error. That sounds complicated, but it is actually very human. It means your brain is constantly comparing what it expected to happen with what actually happened. Better than expected? The brain notices. Worse than expected? The brain notices. Different than expected? The brain really notices. Because your brain is not just watching your life, it is predicting your life. Before the meeting, it predicts how people will respond. Before the opportunity, it predicts whether you can handle it. Before the relationship deepens, it predicts whether you might get hurt. Before peace settles in, it predicts whether peace is safe. And if your nervous system has years of evidence that good things don't last, calm does not feel neutral. Calm feels suspicious. Hope does not feel innocent. Hope feels risky. Rest does not feel like rest. Rest feels like letting your guard down in a room where your body still remembers danger. So when you repeat a positive thought, your mind may hear comfort, but your body may hear contradiction. And contradiction can feel unsafe before it feels healing. Here is the part that changed the way I saw myself. I used to think I was sabotaging my life. Every time something good came close and I got scared, I thought, see, this is why you can't move forward. Every time I overthought a blessing, I thought, you're ruining it. Every time I struggled to believe something positive, I thought, you're just negative. But what if I wasn't self-sabotaging? What if I was self-protecting? What if the part of me that panicked around peace was not trying to destroy my future, but trying to protect the version of me that had learned how to survive the past? That does not mean fear gets to lead, but it does mean fear deserves to be understood before it is forced to leave. I remember a season where I wanted a better life so badly. I wanted stability. I wanted peace. I wanted to stop feeling like I was always waiting for the next hard thing. And then, slowly, things started to shift. Not in some dramatic movie scene way, just small things. A conversation went better than I expected. A door opened. A little money came in. Someone was kind to me without needing anything back. A quiet evening came where nobody was upset. Nobody was demanding anything. Nobody was pulling on me. And instead of feeling peaceful, I felt strange. I walked through the room like I was waiting for the floor to crack. I remember hearing laughter in the house and still feeling tense. I remember looking around at a calm moment and thinking, this is nice. But underneath that thought was another one. How long is this going to last? That is survival mode. Survival mode does not let good moments just be good. It scans them. It questions them. It tries to find the hidden cost. Because if your body has learned that peace gets interrupted, then peace does not feel like a rival. It feels like the quiet before something changes. And that is why positive thinking can feel so hard. You are not just trying to change a sentence in your mind. You are trying to teach your body that a new outcome is possible. And this is where it gets even deeper. Sometimes survival mode does not just make peace feel unsafe, it makes peace feel boring. I know that sounds uncomfortable to admit, but when your body is used to intensity, intensity can start to feel like proof that you are alive. Worry feels like responsibility. Overthinking feels like preparation. Stress feels like movement. Fixing everything feels like control. So when nothing is burning, Nothing is breaking. Nothing is demanding your immediate panic. Your body can feel lost. Like, what am I supposed to do with this? Peace can feel too quiet when chaos has been your language. Calm can feel empty when your nervous system is used to noise. And positive thinking can feel fake when your body is still addicted to checking for danger. Not addicted in a shameful way, not in a you want pain way, but in the sense that your system has learned a pattern. It has learned this is how we survive. Stay ready, stay tense, stay ahead of disappointment, stay aware of everyone's mood, stay prepared for the thing that might go wrong. So when you say everything is working out, your body may respond, that sounds nice, but I need proof. And honestly, that is not failure. That is your healing map. The shift for me was learning that I could not bully my nervous system into belief. I could not shame myself into peace. I could not force my body to trust a thought just because the thought sounded spiritual, positive, or powerful. I had to start smaller, much smaller. Instead of saying, I am completely safe, I started with, in this moment, I can take one slower breath. Instead of saying, I will never struggle again, I started with, I have survived hard things before, and I am here right now. Instead of saying, I am fearless, I started with, fear is here, but I do not have to let it drive the whole car. That kind of truth landed differently, because my body could believe it, and the nervous system learns through repetition. Not one perfect affirmation. Repetition. A little pause, repeated. A little breath, repeated. A little evidence, repeated. A little moment where you choose not to abandon yourself, repeated. That is how the body begins to update. That is how belief stops being something you perform and starts becoming somewhere you live. So if positive thinking has not worked for you in survival mode, I want you to hear this gently. You are not broken. You are not failing because your first reaction is fear. You are not fake because you said the affirmation and still felt anxious afterward. Your body may simply be saying, I need more evidence. Not more pressure, not more shame, not another reason to feel behind. Evidence. Evidence that calm can be safe. Evidence that good things can stay. Evidence that rest will not ruin everything. Evidence that being seen does not always lead to rejection. Evidence that unfamiliar does not mean unsafe. And maybe the first step is not forcing yourself to believe everything is perfect. Maybe the first step is sitting with the part of you that still feels afraid and saying, I understand why this feels hard. I understand why peace feels strange. I understand why hope feels risky. But we are going to learn something new, slowly. Because healing is not always the moment you suddenly feel fearless. Sometimes healing is the moment you stop attacking yourself for being afraid. Sometimes healing is when your body finally realizes, this is new, but I am not in danger. And this is where the next layer begins. Because sometimes your nervous system is not only protecting you from danger, sometimes it is protecting your identity. The version of you that survived chaos may not know who you are without the fear, the striving, the proving, the bracing, or the pain. So in the next video, we are going to talk about why your nervous system may fight the very identity you are trying to step into. Because sometimes the hardest part of healing is not thinking a better thought. Sometimes the hardest part is convincing your body that the old version of you is finally allowed to rest.